something fancy, but we'll get it better next time with OBS. How's everybody doing? I think we've already got some people in here. Haley, we have someone from what, Chattanooga?
Yeah, we got a Kevin Rich from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Nice.
A Donald Rendell from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Excellent.
Boom Boom's Wood Shop from I don't know how to pronounce that. Olathe, Kansas.
Nice. That's awesome.
Lori Champagne from Detroit.
Hey, Lori, how you doing? I know Lori. Well, awesome. So I hope everybody's, can everybody hear me okay? Hopefully the stream's going well. Yeah?
Yep.
Should be good. Yep. Excellent. Excellent.
Craig Bradley from Boston.
Nice.
Hello.
Nice. Well, I hope everybody's having a crazy holiday like me. I'm sure we've got all walks in here, from people that have been doing laser engraving for a little bit to people that are just getting started. But I can tell you that I don't even know how I am here right now doing this live stream. But I do. It's because, you know, when you have a full-time laser engraving business and your established business, you get to a point during the week where you got to start cutting it off, so you can make sure that you're not, you know, going absolutely insane all the way until Christmas Eve. And I do have a few orders left to still do before Christmas Eve, but we made enough time to sit here and unbox this desktop laser. But man, when you guys see this, like, we took a peek inside the box, it is a little bit bigger than a lot of the other desktop lasers. But I just figured, since it's been sitting here in my garage, looking at it, staring at me during the holiday rush, I was like, man, I really want to get into this thing. And why don't we just go live and get into it together and see what's inside? We're not going to set it up today, but we are going to open everything up and kind of kick the tires a little bit and see my give you my first impressions on the unit. And then later on in January, we'll definitely do a deep dive into this. What else is going on? So yeah, and during the live stream, we're going to do a couple of giveaways. I got a swag bag from OneLaser. I think it was intended for a gift for me personally, but there's some things in there that I would love for you guys to have. So stick around. We'll do a couple of random giveaways. We got some hats, some shirts, and apron. I didn't really want to give up the work apron, but you know, if you want a OneLaser work apron, you know, you could win this today. I know they're just little things, but I thought it'd be fun to give them away anyway. Couple of things out of the way. This video is not sponsored by OneLaser. They're not paying me to do this. They sent me this machine because of what I do on YouTube, and they want me to give them my honest opinion and feedback on the machine, how I liked using it, what I did like, what I didn't like about it. But as far as the unboxing goes, yeah, I mean, what else? I mean, should we just dive right into it? We don't have all evening, so I figure we'll just get right into it. And then as we're getting into it, if you guys have questions about anything particular, I'll do my best to try to rotate it around, poke around. I'll do my best to answer questions about what I see here. But I'm going to set this aside for a second. These little swag that we're going to be giving away. But this is basically what you're going to get. And honestly, I was thinking when I first saw the box, I was like, okay, well, the laser is probably going to be smaller than the box, right? It's, you know, it's just oversized padding or whatever. And then when we took a peek inside of it, we realized that no, actually, it's that big. So as usual with my unboxings, I have a very small shop, so we're just going to be throwing cardboard and everything around. But yeah, it comes on a pallet, so I didn't want to put a pallet on my workbench. But so we took it off the pallet, but this is basically how it comes. We got a couple of, let's see, let's take this off. Okay, there we go. Boom. Like, it doesn't, there's not a lot of padding. Like, that's it. Look at that thing. So that thing is, it is a desktop laser. It is fitting on the desktop, but it's substantial. Like I'm just gonna say, like the initial size of it is, it's pretty big. I mean, you guys see me here on my desk, you know, doing my YouTube videos all the time, and I'm like really small here, and this thing's like taking up the whole desk. It's not a bad thing. I think it's just it's a bigger desktop laser for sure. Let's see. So this model that we're going to be unboxing is an XRF model. So what that means is that they sent me the one with the RF tube in it. The RF tube versus a glass tube. So we, how many people know the difference? Let's see. Let's poll everybody and find out who knows, who wants to write their best quick description of what an RF laser tube is versus a glass tube. Go. Why take this shrink wrap off? Let's see what we got here. Anybody?
Rick Blizzard thinks it's a metal tube. Lori says it's glass water cooled, and oh, that's her question.
Yeah.
She wants to know is glass water cooled and RF is air cooled.
That is true.
Yeah.
RF laser tubes are typically air cooled.
Peterson says radio frequency.
Radio frequency. That's what RF stands for. Very good. Very good, Jeff. That's very good. So you guys know me. I'm more of an applications guy. I like getting creative and like, you know, I do look at specs and stuff and technology and stuff like that, but I'm more of a creative guy. Like at the applications, like I feel like on my channel, I try to come up with cool ways to do things, kind of teach everybody how to do things and do creative stuff. But anyway, back to the RF tube. So the RF tube is definitely a air-cooled tube. You don't need a water chiller. Get this. It's going to go in the black hole. Boom. Okay. So the RF tube versus the CO2. So this does come in both options, and you can see that on the website. I've listed links in the description as usual. If you guys want to check out the specs on this, you can click on the X series, which is what this is. And it does come in two flavors. It comes with the CO2 glass laser tube, which requires a chiller. And CO2 lasers, typically, when it comes to the glass tube, you can get a lot more wattage at a lot less cost. And you can get more power, and basically it's a lower quality beam, but you can get a lot more for a lot less. However, when you get a machine that has a glass tube, because it has a lower pulse rate, I'm not going to get caught too in the weeds here, you can't run your machine at higher speeds with a glass tube because it can't keep up with how fast the head's moving back and forth. Now, when you get into the RF, that's the air-cooled, it's a radio frequency, it's usually a metal tube, it doesn't require a chiller, and because it has a higher pulse rate, it's able to keep up with faster speeds, which is something you get when you get this unit, I guess right here. Your speed, the rate at which you can engrave jumps up pretty dramatically with the RF tube. But there's a drawback. So usually with RFs, because you're getting a higher quality beam, you're able to engrave in higher DPIs, but the price goes up, but the available wattage usually goes down. So like this is a 38 watt RF tube, but it's able to run at really nice fast speeds that you don't usually see in a desktop. If you were to get this in the glass tube, you'd be running at those speeds that you typically see somewhere between the 600, 800 millimeters a second. And you see that on a lot of desktops. So that's, in a nutshell, the difference between glass tube. And it's not that one's better or the other, because you can get, with a glass tube, you can get like an 80 watt laser. You're just not going to be running at those speeds, right?
Stunted Midwest wants to know what you prefer.
Okay, so that's a great question. So if I was doing a lot of cutting in my shop and my whole business was kind of just cutting different acrylic, wood, things like that, I think CO2 lasers, glass tube lasers do a much better job when it comes to cutting because you get more power and you're not really looking for that super ultra fine detail. So if that's all I did, and if someone came to me and said, hey man, we just cut acrylic all day or we just cut wood all day, I wouldn't recommend that they get an RF tube laser. And RF tubes will cut just fine. They're just don't have that that a glass tube has when it comes to cutting. I prefer RF tubes because I want to have high production output. I want to finish the job fast and I want to run my machine as fast as I can so I can finish the job and load in the next job that's going to make me money in my business. So if I had if I was on a desert island and I could only pick one laser source, I would go with the RF tube for sure. And I do have two epilogues in here and they're both using RF tubes and they're very, very fast. So, wow, this is going to be loud when I pull this off, but oh God. This is supposed to be that part that's like ASMR, you know? Yeah, but this is not, this is like loud. This is loud and obnoxious. Sorry, I'll try to do this quick. Okay. Wow. Well, it's looking pretty snazzy. Ooh. And it looks like we got a bunch of goodies inside there. Now, okay, just first impressions here. Let's talk about this. Very clean. I'm not gonna lie. This looks very clean, very tight. Looks like they got a little lens cap right here. That's supposed to be a 5 megapixel camera. So that's nice. You know, they could have cheaped out on that, but that looks like a really nice lens assembly there. I'm going to put that back on. And this feels pretty good. This is acrylic. It's not glass. And I guess I've seen other videos. I guess this has like a little side lighting in it here too, which is kind of a cool effect. But yeah, so let's see, we got this. Doesn't slam, kind of has a decent stopper there. All right, we got some more foam in here. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of goodies. Okay. If you guys could see this hallway over here, it's just filling up with packing material. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of stuff we're going to have to get into in a second here. We've got looks like the power cord. I'm guessing that this is going to hook on the back, and it looks like it's powered. So it does have a built-in exhaust. If you don't have anything and you're just getting started and you didn't buy an inline fan or a fume extractor, it looks like it does have a little fan already in it to help you immediately start using the machine, which is pretty cool. So there's the inline mini exhaust fan. Comes with some hosing so you can vent that outside or to a fume extractor. It's packed pretty tight, not gonna lie. Anything else in here? No. Okay. Doesn't look like it has any gantry locks on it, so that's good. Oh, that's an issue. Oh, what's this? Oh, there's like some random sensor in there. We'll have to detach the camera in a little bit. But let's move this to the front. So I'm just moving the gantry to the front. Hopefully I don't rip this apart. Okay, good. I didn't rip it apart. That's good. So just a little bit of extra padding there. Okay, so we've got the hose, the vent. Okay, now this is, okay, so do we want to detach here and see if we can kind of walk over and give them a close-up of kind of what, or you said you wanted to just, we
I
could.
can just lift up the whole tripod.
You could. You guys want to get in here, right? Okay, here we go. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, just don't touch any buttons. Okay, so here we go. Trying to give you guys an inside look here at the machine. Looks like this is the laser head here. Got your mirror assembly, crumb tray down there. I guess that's the only venting area, which is interesting because I guess everything gets sucked into that area. I don't see any other vents right here. Let's see. This is nice right here. I wonder if this is magnetic. It is. Let's give them a look here. So here's the lens assembly, and it does have autofocus. They have their own type of autofocus in here. So this moves up and down. There's no Z axis. So this bed does not lower or raise automatically. It does all of its focusing in here. I think there's other units out there that kind of do that too. And this is magnetic, so that was really easy to clip back on there. And then it looks like you got your air assist hose coming in right here. Looks pretty clean, man. I'm not gonna lie. Looks pretty clean. Okay. Any questions about anybody want to see anything in particular so far?
Is that the safety glass case? Says Kevin Rich.
What do you mean by safety glass?
Maybe talking about the magnetic part. Lori wants to know the bed size.
Ah, yep. I knew we had that. We had that answer preloaded. So for those of you, which I know a lot of you are in millimeters, the bed size is 600 by 300. Here, let me lock that back in for you. Okay. Okay. So the bed size is 600 by 300, or about 23.5 inches by 12, which is pretty standard for this size of a laser. That's your working area. So 23.5 inches by 12 roughly, or 600 by 300, and that's taken off of their website.
Is there a slide out tray under the bed for easy cleanup? Asks from Midwest.
Boom! Ask and you shall receive. Yes, it looks like there is. So now hopefully I can put that back in there.
About the safety glass case, it's that purple, lower right corner purple thing.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So there is a purple thing down here, and it is, yeah, there's a purple thing. It looks like some kind of sensor down there. I didn't read about that, but it is down in there. And all the wiring seems to be sutured up pretty good. The gantry seems to be solid. I don't see, oh, there's your rotary plug-in. So you can plug in your rotary back there. And I believe that you can fit like a full-size rotary in here when you have the base boost, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So that is the boost riser. So let's see what's in here, unless I can answer any more before we flip it all the way around.
Barb LaFon says, will it work with Lightburn software?
100%. I think it was designed to work with Lightburn software. So absolutely, 100%, this is Lightburn compatible, for sure.
Craig Bradley says, so if there's no Z-axis, can you do drinkware?
You can. And so once we talk about the riser, that is something additional that you can get with it, which we have off camera there. There is, you assemble the riser, and then you set this on top of the riser, which gives you a much deeper access, and you're able to move that tray down depending on, so you can go all the way up to like a 40-ounce Stanley cup. And I was just mentioning that because of that riser, that when you add the riser to this, you get a lot more depth, and you're able to fit in a full size like Pyburn rotary, I believe, as well. So that's pretty cool.
That probably answers this next question from Lori, saying, I saw a rotary plug. Does it require a table with a hole in it or bricks to raise the machine?
Nope, nope. It has a riser base, and so you don't need to do that. Haley's going to step away for a second. And once you put it on this riser base, which you can see on their website, if you click the link, you can kind of follow along. There's a riser base. There's no special stuff there. So let's go ahead and get into what's in this bag until Haley gets back. We have a trucking company coming today, of all days, why we're doing this, coming to pick up a giant pallet of tools that we just finished this week. So let me tell you about that really quick. So I got a job from a company in Savannah, and they asked me if I could put one engraving on, I think it was 679 tools of all different shapes and sizes, like wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, and they wanted to drop ship the whole pallet to me, and then have me mark. Out of all those tools, there's 6 complete sets. Each set had like 100 and something tools in it, and they're all kind of semi-organized. And so I had to come up with a price and figure out how to engrave all these different tools. Now, what I explained to them is, for the price that I gave them, I was not going to create a fixture for each one of those tools. If you can imagine, I mean, I'm talking like wrenches, like from here all the way down to here. How many hours and hours that would have taken to create fixtures for this giant project. The deal I made with them is, since you just need these tools marked with Operation 1, Operation 2, Operation 3, up to 6, so that way when these tool sets were at the stations, they could not get mixed up with the other station guys' tools. It's just a mark. Doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to be perfectly aligned. It just, that tool needed to be marked, and they were totally fine with that. So I was able to give them a pretty good price. I think I did the whole job for about almost $1,000. It was like $950, and it took us how long did it take us? Maybe three and a half hours to do all those tools. I'm telling them about the tools that are
like most of the day.
like half the day, on and off. A lot of it was kind of unboxing. But what we did was we used the fiber laser, and we just loaded up the text for that tool. And Haley was just literally handing me the next tool, and I would just put it underneath there and just put the mark on it. No fixturing, no nothing. So in some cases, just holding it underneath there for a moment. It was literally just the letters OP1 or OP2. And we just had this like chain going, and then she was putting them back in the thing, and we knocked it out. But now they have to pick up the tools at the trucking company. And of course, they scheduled it during our Fun Live event. So was that them?
It wasn't even.
Oh, no, it wasn't them. No, I want them to come and get those tools out of here. Anyway, I'm sure we're probably had some questions, but
Actually,
okay.
Clayton does say aloha from Hawaii.
Oh, what's up?
Everyone, please smash that like button.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's get into the little goodie bag that was inside here. So it looks like we've got, oh, look at that. So it looks like they already calibrated the unit. So they've got the reverse compensation settings. So they already did some pre-calibration at the factory for you. So everything should be really dialed in when you get it. This says key, so I'm guessing this might be some kind of key that you need to insert to actually operate the machine. Maybe that's a safety feature. Just guessing. Like I said, this is my first time unboxing this along with you. We've got some, but they did put it in English. Lens cleaner. Your USB cable to connect it to your computer that's running Lightburn. Another USB cable, a couple of USB cables. Okay. It looks like, hey, remember we were talking about this earlier because we wanted to take some of the side panels off for you. I was like, should I get my Allen keys out? Because what if they didn't give us any tools to take the side panels off? Well, they do. They give you some tools so you can access the tube or whatever. This says laser spot mode. And I think what this has to do with is, and I might have to get up close for this. I know very little about this, but they do little tests. This is very interesting. So I believe this is part of a test that they do on the laser source. And I'll try to, I think this is part of their test. I don't know if that's showing up, but there's these little acrylic cubes. And I think this is like the beam profile. And they shot that in there to like do a little test. I've seen this when we went out to Light Object. When I went with Alex, they were doing some tests like this to check the spot beam profile, except they had much bigger cubes, and it's kind of crazy. So it's kind of like a visual representation of the beam shooting into acrylic. So I guess they're including that to kind of let you know that, you know, they've tested the beam quality. And I'm not sure what this little piece of wood is, but we'll find out later. It's a little piece of wood with 2 dots on it.
Vampire bite.
Yeah, it's a vampire bite. Okay, we'll figure it out later. Someone will watch this later and be like, I know what that is.
Justin Seroy says, will you be getting a Hydra as well? And if so, do you know what size?
I don't think that I don't have any plans to get a Hydra. I haven't talked with that. I think they wanted me to check this one out first, but I have looked on their site at the Hydra. And it looks substantial, very substantial. It looks like a pretty beefy unit, almost about the size of my Epilogue M2 Fusion over there, which is a 32-inch by 20-inch bed. Looks like you get some cleaning swabs, some zip ties in case you need to zip tie someone or something, and a network cable if you want to hook it up via network for whatever reason, if that's your thing and you don't want to use the USB cable. Let's see. So that is what comes in the swag bag. Well, I'm going to leave these out because we might want to look at the RF tube and kind of check that out. Okay, one of the other things that I didn't really point out is that what does it feel like, right? So what would you say, Haley, about lifting this thing? Is this a one-person job?
No.
Or a 2-person job?
Definitely a 2-person job, maybe even a 3-person job.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, Haley and I were able to lift it up and onto the table, but you know, this frame right here is not a plastic frame. So just want to be clear about this. This is all metal. It feels very solid. There's, you know, plastic in the door here and stuff like this, but this is a metal frame, so it has some weight to it. Could you lift this up by yourself if you absolutely had to? And I mean, even that right there, like I'm just lifting the back of it, I wouldn't recommend it. Definitely going to want some help scooting. You know, could you scoot it around? You maybe in a pinch. I mean, we scooted that whole tool pallet earlier. That was just the two, and that was a lot of tools. But this is definitely a 2-person lift. And which you're about to see, because I think we're going to have to turn this around. Why don't we field some more questions and do a let's play a game for the first. We've got some T-shirts. Let's give away a T-shirt, shall we? All right. So All you have to do to get a t-shirt right now is type in what is your current laser that you're using that's your favorite. You may have multiple lasers. Just type in the name of the laser that is your current favorite right now that you're using. And then we'll pick someone really quick to get a t-shirt. That one right there. I said this t-shirt right here. It's a OneLaser t-shirt. And it says 4X on it, but it is not a 4X. It's a standard large.
We got a lot of people. I'm setting up a wheel. Give me a second.
Oh, there's a wheel?
Yeah, I'm making a wheel.
Okay. Oh, you're typing in putting in the people on the wheel. That's fair. That's fair.
I'm being fair.
Yep. This thing is pretty cool looking, I have to say. We'll see how it engraves though. Cool looking and functional and extraordinary are two different things. I have high hopes for it, honestly.
All right. I'm clicking the wheel.
All right, you spin the wheel for this t-shirt. Midwest. So you got the first shirt giveaway. All you got to do, man, is just head over to Laser Engraving 911. Use the contact page. Just shoot us an email with your shipping address, and just send us a message. Say I won the t-shirt, and we will make sure it gets out to you. Thanks. All right. So we got one down. Should we do another one just for fun? Yeah, let's do another one. Okay, so another t-shirt. Let's do another one. Let's see. Okay.
Better Baseball says, love the content. Thanks for the training.
Oh, Better Baseball's in here. That's awesome. That's awesome. So they're a great company. You guys, if you're into baseball, they're local to me here. If you're into baseball or you haven't heard of Better Baseball, they're online. They have a really cool store here, and they came to me for a consultation on to train them and help them get set up in store to be able to engrave live bats and gloves in their store. And so they reached out to me, and I've been helping them get trained up and teaching their crew how to do that exactly. And it's going to be pretty cool when they've got everything up and running in their store. I think it's going to be a great service for them. But if you are a baseball family, you got baseball kids, softball, whatever, and you're looking for a great company that has so much selection, check out Better Baseball for sure. Okay, so this next one is more of a kind of, it's not a t-shirt, it's got a collar and some buttons on it. It's also a OneLaser shirt. So for that one, if everybody could just type in what is your least favorite material to engrave or cut. And then we'll take those names and put them in. Start typing. Let me guess, leather. I will tell you what my least favorite, yeah, my least favorite material to engrave or cut is leather. I just, you think after all these years that I'd be okay with the smell of engraved leather or cut leather, and it's literally, I tell people it's like burnt toenails. You know, it's just one of those smells. The good thing about laser engraving and cutting leather is even though it smells like that right when you take it out of the machine, you may be worried that when you give it to your customer, it's always going to smell like that forever. And that's actually not the case. That smell, that charred smell actually dissipates usually within 24 hours, and it's pretty much gone. So that's the great thing about it. Now, if someone was waiting for you and you had to hand it to them right there, it's only going to smell for a few hours, but it won't smell like that. It'll go back to smelling like leather. So that's the good thing about it.
Lori says the one owned by the person who says, "Can I watch?"
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. There's always that person. Luckily, I work by appointment only, so I do have some people that come when I'm doing NFA engravings or something like that where they need to be present, but they're usually very polite. Oh, spinning the wheel for this. It's kind of a polo type shirt. It's pretty cool. Or like a golf shirt. Is there any golfers out there? What is it? Heather?
Going to Heather Jackson.
All right, Heather.
Who hates acrylic.
Who hates acrylic? Well, this shirt is not made out of acrylic, or it could be, but anyway, this shirt, Heather, just shoot us an email with your shipping address and we'll get that off to you. And then we'll get back to this cool machine. All right. So I think it's time for us to flip the machine around, Haley. And we're going to take it slow. And we're going to just rotate it around so everybody can see the back, and we'll talk about the ports on the back. Okay. I'm going to go that way.
So I go this way.
You go that way. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Go. There we go. That's Haley, guys, by the way. She's amazing. All right. We're good. Oh, there's the crumb tray. It looks like I didn't slide it back in there perfectly, but that's okay. Now we can talk about the back. So anyway, Haley, that was Haley. Haley is my assistant here. She is amazing. She does a lot of the video editing now. And she has been, if you didn't know, on the horror stories that we did, Haley's passion is that she is a professional animator. So in case you thought that we just found those animations to tell those laser engraving horror stories, those were actually all crafted by Haley from scratch, from from the ground up. Yes, she had some tools, some models to help, but she did all the animation in those, and we really wanted to make the whole we wanted to make Justin's story completely animated. We wanted to make Emily's story, but we just ran out of time, so we had to just do little parts of the story animated. But she's an amazing animator. She helps me out here in the shop with engraving as well, and cup engraving. One of the things that I love to set her on, if we get a big pile of cups, I'll be like, "Hey, I set up the job for you on the laser. There's 80 cups over there. All you have to do is put one in and hit the go button." She's like, "Okay," but I think she is amazing. She's been a great help around here, and she is the one behind almost all the editing and video editing and the shorts even. So I want to give her a hand. You guys should all give her throw some claps up for Haley. She's amazing. Okay. So this is the back of the X series. What we've got here, hopefully I'm still in frame here. So we've got your PC hookup. Looks like your camera. Oh, that's why we got two cables. So one of them, I guess, is for the camera. You got your PC, you've got your Ethernet port. It looks like a resettable fuse here. Yeah, a resettable fuse. And then you've got your master power and your air assist. So I guess you do have to have an external air assist, something I think you can buy from them, or if you have a favorite air assist, you could buy that too. Looks like it's got a little cooling fan here. Also, I know you can't see this over here, but there is an emergency stop right here. You've got your giant red emergency stop button. Now, any questions on the back of the unit? And then, of course, you've got your, where's that part? There it is. So this connects somewhere, and then you've got your inline fan kind of in there. So there will be, that's something to consider. So it does bump out a little bit. So if you have a small space, or you're thinking that you're going to bump this right up to the wall, you do need to consider that this will be on there, and your hose, and you're going to want to have a little bit more room to bend that exhaust hose out too. I've definitely not compensated for that before on my machines, and realized that I needed to back this away from the wall to compensate for the exhaust hose.
Directed text says not a Merida controller, correct?
Correct. I don't believe so. But we can check the spec. Do you have the website up on that? I think it says it on the website. I don't want to misquote that. Okay, so that comes off. There is a nice panel over here that I kind of want to get into. Kind of want to get into this panel over here. But that means we're going to have to turn it sideways. Is this where the laser source is, or is this where all the control? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, Haley, I'm going to have you, we're going to turn it again. Yeah, I want to get this facing towards this side facing towards the camera. Yep. And I think that tray, let me move that crumb tray out real quick. Okay. All right, wish us luck. Yep. Right there. I think we're good. Cool. Yeah, so let's poke around in here and see what's going on in here. And you can field me some questions too while I'm unscrewing this. Ooh, you know what? Should I try my electric screwdriver?
Yeah, why not? Dave Provoked Orlander Wilson says, I got here late. What material can RF laser cut or engrave that a CO2 cannot, or better?
That has nothing to do with so yeah, to answer your question, no. So it's still a CO2 laser. So the difference is that the CO2 laser can, a glass tube can cut acrylic, wood, leather, do all that kind of stuff, and so can an RF laser source. The difference is that you're going to get they can both cut and engrave the same materials. The difference is that you're going to be able to run this machine at faster speeds, at its maximum speeds with the RF tube, because of the higher pulse rate of that type of RF laser source. So you'll be able to run at 1200 millimeters per second, which is the max for the RF tube, and I think 800 millimeter for the glass tube. But as far as like what materials they can work with, it's all the same. I don't think I have the right doodad. No, I don't have it. I'm going to have to do it by hand, folks. That's okay. That's okay. You can field me some more questions.
Michael Clarkson says, next purchase, wheels for the table.
Oh, there are wheels on this table, but they're like, have you ever bought like a table that has like fake wheels? It's like they're just decorative wheels. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to share. So Mike Clarkson, I am actually trying to get into a commercial space next year in January or February. So it'll be a commercial kind of warehouse space. And that is a great idea for when I'm doing this type of review or live unboxing. That would be a fantastic way to just have a nice table with some caster wheels on it and rotate that. That would, yes, I want that. Yeah, I want that. But yeah, I'm trying to move into a commercial space, mainly so I can fit some of these more lasers in here keep doing cool content and then have a little bit more breathing room here in my shop, because I've kind of outgrown my home shop here, and it's time for me to expand and also just need a little bit more breathing room. So I am in the process of working with a broker right now, an agent, to help me find a space that meets my budget needs, power needs, and location needs, and wish me luck, you know? So I'm just taking this panel off in here. Honestly, I don't even know what's behind it. I'm just like disassembling it. I really don't know what's behind it. I'm guessing it's probably wires and controllers, but there you go. So it looks like a lot of the control boards. There we go. Wow.
Wires and controllers.
Yeah, just like I thought. That is awesome. Okay. Should we, here, I'll try to, I'll disconnect and let them get a closer look here. I'll be real slow. So here you go. You guys want to see the craftsmanship there? It's a lot of stuff going on in there. And I'm not going to pretend like I know what every single controller is and what it's doing. Like I said, I try not to open up my lasers as much as possible because I just want to make stuff, create stuff. I don't really want to get in here and start messing with stuff. My buddy Alex, though, over at Laser Everything, he loves this kind of stuff, dude. I love that about him. He likes to get down and dirty in here and check out what's going on. But I mean, as far as like cable management and stuff, I mean, it's pretty sutured up. You know, I don't see too much sloppy stuff. So that's pretty good. I do want to get an answer to that. The controller, the DSP controller. Did you find that on the website?
I didn't see anything.
No. It looks pretty sick. I kind of wanted to see the RF tube. I'm guessing that is back here somewhere. Should I do that? Should I take the back off too? What's the vote? Yes, take it all apart, Michael. You guys, while I'm putting this back on, feel free to ask me any question. It doesn't have to be about the machine. It could be about anything. Laser engraving.
Jay asks, what would you recommend for an entry-level laser engraver on the low-end cost to see if you like it and if there's truly a market for it?
Yeah, that's a question I get asked quite often because, you know, this unit right here, I believe they are running some. So this machine right here is for what it is so far from what I can tell, you know, they're asking 4K for this machine right here with an RF tube, 38 watts. That's kind of unheard of, honestly. Like this is the kind of the first of its kind in that category. You know, that's really not a bad price at all. And then you can get the glass tube one for 3K. And I think they're running some specials right now. They have a Christmas special, which I listed a link in the description below. You get $100 off this unit, $200 off like the bigger ones. But to answer your question, I just wanted to point out that for what this machine is and what it's packing inside and the speeds that it's doing, like 4K is a pretty good entry level price. I'm not gonna say it's not. But you could always go and check out, X Tools lineup. You know, they've got some basic entry level stuff. If you really just want to see what it's like, and if you really want to go like bare budget, you know, you could get like an open face diode laser the kind of like what was going on a couple years ago. Those are like going for like $300 now, but I don't really like recommending those just because they're open. They're usually built kind of poorly. I try not to recommend anything that's like less than $1,500 to $2,000 just because I don't want people to have a bad first experience. Honestly, this with the glass tube, at $3,000 would be a great starter machine for anybody. I think the size is a little bit bigger. You could also check out the if that price range is too much, you could check out the M1 Ultra by X-Tool. I think that one is a smaller, compact 10-watt laser. Just to get your feet wet. Okay, so we did that. Did anybody have a vote on whether to take the back off from the RF? No, nobody wants to see the RF tube. That's okay. You know what? I don't know if I really want to start taking this thing apart live, but we can. I'm going to set this stuff over to the side here.
Cutting edge laser engraving said, does an RF metal tube need a chiller?
It does not. All RF tubes, I believe, until you get into like the 300, 400, 500, 200, even at 200, I think they're air cooled, 200 watts. They're just the way they're built. They just require air cooling. So I think beyond 200, you might need some kind of a chiller. So yeah, that's one of the great things of how they're able to keep the profile of these machines with RF tubes down is because they don't require a chiller, which is pretty cool. And I am here in Georgia, and I will tell you, I have two epilogues. Let's go ahead and rotate this. I'll keep talking. We're just going to go, I'm going to go that way. All right, ready? Let's bring it to center. There we go. Yeah, I think we're good. We're not going to fall off the back. All right. So I have two epilogues here. They're both RF tubes, and I'm in Georgia, and it gets hot, hot, hot here, as anybody from the South who's watching the stream knows. And I do have limited air conditioning here in my shop, but it's gotten warm. And I will tell you that whatever, they're all air cooled. They have never stopped working. I've also taken one of my epilogues out to a mobile event in the summer in Atlanta, where I was live engraving Coke bottles for Emory College with that epilogue that was air cooled outside in the heat, running that thing for 3.5 hours straight, engraving Coke bottles, and it did not crap out or did not overheat. So I think they're really efficient. Those fans that are hooked up, it's usually it's too bad we didn't have the OBS. You could pull up on their website. They actually have a pretty good picture of an RF2 laser source, and it has multiple fans along the laser source that are exhausting the heat away. They're very efficient at keeping cool. So I hope that answers that. Okay, so why don't I field some more questions? So one of the other things that's different about this, and I know we're not firing it up right now, but we will. I promise we'll do a video on it. It's got its own UI interface right here. So and it's also got some kind of something I'm very curious about. It's got a air quality checker in it, and I'm curious if that is like checking the ambient air, like out here, and that's what this little hole is. There's maybe there's like some little drilled holes right here, but I know there's some kind of air quality checker to see if you're exhausting properly, and I think maybe you get your information right here on whether the air is starting to fill up with VOCs, volatile organic compounds, or I don't know how it's sensing that, but I'm gonna have to definitely put a mask on and is how do you test that, right? Are we going to have to like fill up the shop with like some nasty stuff? I'll put like a mask on and we'll see if this thing catches it, or we'll have to find out. But anyways, I'll be testing that feature out. I'll be testing the speeds out. I'm going to do try to max this thing out to its highest level of like DPI resolution settings, because that's one of the things that you can do with RF tubes is you can get higher fidelity engravings. I honestly have never engraved anything at like 1200 DPI. The most that I will do is like 600 DPI for like super fine engravings that are like really small if I'm working on really small stuff, or I've got an ultra detailed graphic that I have to shrink down to a small size for a customer. Then I'll bump up to a higher resolution engraving, which is something you can do with the RF tubes. That's kind of more difficult to do with CO2 glass tubes. But you got to watch it when you're bumping the DPI up. You have to adjust all of your speed and power settings, because think about it. Now you're hanging out in that area longer doing really fine engraving. And if you don't change your settings that you normally would use at say 300 or 400 DPI, and you just bump the resolution up, you're going to engrave a lot deeper and a lot harder at that higher resolution. So you have to always keep in mind when you're going to high resolution engraving, you have to change your speed and your power as well to compensate for that fine detail. So just something to consider. Any other questions, Haley, you got here?
No, but Justin Soroy says the air quality sensor is inside the work area in the front right corner. I think he means.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that purple thing?
I think.
Okay, interesting. Well, we're gonna have to dive into that later. Let's give away a hat.
All right.
Okay. How about we'll do a couple hats, shall we? We'll do 2 hats. All right. Let's see. What should we have them type, Haley? You come up with this one. Okay. Quiz question. You ready for this? I feel like we've talked about this a lot. Type your answer in the comment. Does an RF laser tube require water chilling? Yes or no?
Paying attention.
They are. And then I think once we do these hats away, if we'll field any more questions that I could answer about this unit by just, what we can see here, and then we'll bring over the bass boost, the riser bass, and we'll go over that really quick. Yeah. Man, it is windy out here today. I don't know where everyone else is at here, but like I said, I'm in Georgia, a little bit north of Atlanta, and it's just like, I know some tree branches are going to be dropping later. I know it.
Clicking the button.
All right, run it. Spinning. I can see the wheel. I know you guys can't see the wheel. That's awesome.
Going to Thoth.
Thoth, you got a hat. Thoth, you got a hat? Shoot us an email with your address. We'll send it to you. All right, let's do one more spin with the same group.
Shuffle that around a couple times.
Yep.
And we're clicking the
She's
button.
shuffling the deck. That's so cool. I'm like watching the wheel spin over here. That's pretty cool.
Going to Richard Sell.
Richard Sell, you've got a hat too, my friend. So shoot us an email. We'll get it off to you. And it does have a nice, I didn't really show off the hat. It's, here we go. It's the OneLaser hat. It's got the American flag on the side of it. That's awesome. And yeah, those are now going. So we'll put that in the giveaway pile.
Kevin Rich says, how do you feel about the build quality? And also, it's very windy in Chattanooga as well.
Yeah. I feel so far, I love the fact that the chassis is all metal. And from what I can tell so far, it's for the price, it's a lot stronger than I expected. I expected to see more plastic on it, and that is not the case. But that also makes sense because they need to have something rigid for those higher speeds when you have the RF model, because that gantry head's going to be rocking back and forth pretty fast. So they have to have a pretty strong chassis. So in my opinion, the build quality so far has not disappointed.
Doc says, does it have the pass-through?
It does. Yeah. I believe that this unit does have the pass-through. It's listed on their website as having pass-through ability. So yes, and they did mention something on the website about a conveyor system as well. But I guess the way you're going to, the pass-through you're going to see in a second, well, we're going to talk about it in a second. You're not going to see it right here because the riser base is not attached to it. And that's where you get that pass-through ability. So you guys saw the crumb tray. That's going to come out, and then you'll be able to see through on the bottom, and that's where the riser base is going to come in handy. So that's how you're able to use it as a pass-through. And I did see something on there about a conveyor, but I have not seen the conveyor in action yet. There might be a video out there of someone using it yet. Maybe that's something that's on its way.
Conveyor feeder. Add-on automatic feeding grants your desktop machine the power to tackle large-scale engravings.
Okay, and that's with the riser base attached.
Yep.
Right. Awesome. Okay, Haley, I hate to break it to you, unless there's any burning more questions about this unit where I need to get into it. I think we're going to have to bring over that riser base box, which I really don't want to, but we're going to bring it out.
Doc says there are 2 versions of the tube. Which one do you recommend? And also Lori says, see you in Vegas.
Yes, I'll be, yes. So I will be in Vegas in a few months at the APA show. If you guys, I'll be doing a video on that too next month about what I'm doing there, but that is a great place to go get laser engraving education, business in general education, meet all the vendors that are selling blanks, meet laser engraving vendors or manufacturers there. I'll be giving a talk on Adobe Illustrator and also on a panel discussing artificial intelligence. And the panel's interesting because it's me on the panel talking about how I use it for some design work and to create files. There's also a lawyer on the panel who's going to tell everybody how they can get in trouble if they don't use it right. Then there's another guy on the panel who uses artificial intelligence to manage his business and be more efficient. So it's going to be a pretty interesting panel. I'll be speaking on that. I'll be teaching my class on laser engraving tricks and that I like to use in Adobe Illustrator. And then I'm also going to do a live event on the learning stage at one of those days where I'm just gonna field questions from anybody, both you guys that are, even if you're not at the event, we're going to stream it on YouTube, and anybody who's at the show. So if you've been looking for a higher level of education, networking with other people that are laser engraving or in the personalization business of any kind, the APA show is definitely something you're going to want to look into. Watch out for my video. I'll explain a little bit more about it, but I will be there, and I would love to meet anybody who's a subscriber or supporter of the channel. I'd love to talk to you in person, say hi. We need to get this thing off of here so we can bring over the bass boost. All right.
Grinning Duck says that looks like a retro gaming system upscaled.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. It kind of does. Yeah, like if we had two like little controllers, you can put it back in here and like where, you know, just kind of lift it up and put the cartridge in right there.
I can see it.
It's kind of cool.
Wake the whole house up.
It's very I want to say kind of minimalist a little bit. I don't want to quite go IKEA minimalist, but it's very it's a nice rectangle. All right. So I think what we're going to do is do you think we could set it?
Yeah, I think we could just put it on the floor.
I don't think it's too wide. I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Not to crash the tripod. All right. Give us a second. We're going to try to put this back on the.
I can scooch the tripod back a little bit.
No, I think we're good. Yeah, I just want to put it on the pallet. Okay. Cross your fingers, guys and girls. You're going to move it off to the side just a little bit. There we go. We'll come back to full center in a second.
Okay.
Yep, you're good. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. There we go. Oh, it's my finger. Just kidding.
You already did that once today.
All right. And you want to bring over the riser. Okay, here we go. That's good. I can scoot it around. Okay. So this is the riser base. And I didn't realize this, but it is assembly required. But that makes sense because they had to ship it a long way. And you do have to assemble the riser base. And I am not going to assemble it in front of you guys because I don't feel like putting a lot of screws together. But I think that it does come with pretty it's got 8-step instructions. So I'll put that here. I'll pull some of the parts out. But anyway, you've got your very basic instructions on how to put it together. Everything in here, there's no plastic in here, which I was very happy to see. Once again, because it's running at those faster speeds, the riser base needs to be as strong as the laser itself. It needs to be solid. It can't be when you're lifting that machine up and it's jamming back and forth, you don't want to have anything rocking in the machine, which is pretty cool. So there is a piece of the riser base that is definitely some pretty thick metal. So you've got all the corners, you've got all the railings, and you've got your bag of, I don't even want to count all the screws. But there's a lot of screws in there. You've got oh my God, they packed it really, really well. So you got the sides. But anyway, this riser base, if any of you are on your PCs or whatever, and you want to look at the website, look at the riser base, that's what we're talking about right now. Got some support beams in here. This is what you're going to have to get if you want to do cups. You have to have the clearance with this machine. You have to have the clearance to be able to fit those tumblers in there, which is a huge part of my business, is doing tumblers, cups, glassware. and you got to have the clearance in there. And since you don't have an automated Z-axis on this machine, you're going to have to get the riser base. So when you have the riser base, you're able to put a full-size rotary in there, have the clearance to do like a full wrap on a Stanley Cup or a 20-ounce Yeti or Polar Camel or whatever brand that, you know, off-brand that you've got is. This is the accessory that you're going to want to get and almost need, especially if you're going to be doing it as a business. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that this gives you the ability to do a full pass-through, like we were talking about earlier. So you're able to use this as a pass-through, take the crumb tray out of the X Series laser, shoot down through into whatever you have underneath this, and I guess a conveyor belt down the road. So that is how the pass-through comes. I mean, the base boost is what they're calling it. This is how it's going to come. Some assembly required. You have been warned. It doesn't look very complicated at all. It's pretty straightforward. And it doesn't look like it has any live sensors in it, which is something that I really liked. There was, I forget what unit it was. It was the X-Tool P1, the X-Tool S1 that I reviewed, and I think the P2, where they had some sensor in the riser base that if you didn't have it laid like perfectly on, it would say riser base not attached, or riser base error, or riser base or not configured. And I thought that was a little bit frustrating, but I don't see any of those sensors on here. Any questions before we kind of wrap up here about the riser base and what its function is, or anything like that? No?
Thought says, not complicated, but 3 days later in a case of beer.
Yeah, I think if you just take your time with it, but remember also that this thing feels about as heavy because it is all made of metal as the actual unit itself. So once you've got it all assembled, it's going to be a substantially heavy unit, for sure. Okay, well, if there's no more questions about the riser base, we can do some more giveaways. And before we wrap up, I'm happy to answer any other questions about anything else that anybody has. I've listed links, of course, below to any of these if you want to check them out. They are running some Christmas specials, I think, and a giveaway, and I listed links to those too. All those links are in the description. We definitely have some more fun stuff to give away.
Grinning Duck says, are you adding an extra day to your quota turnaround time?
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's to my quota turnaround time. So the way I've been once it reaches, what was it? Was it probably it wasn't quite the beginning of December. I think it was the second week. The first week and a half into December, my normal lead time for turnaround is 3 to 5 days, is what I tell people. And that's because it's really just me and Haley here, doing jobs. I typically don't do same day engravings unless it's slow and I'm like, sure, and it's something simple. But as that first week of December passes, it becomes 5 to 7 days. And usually I give it back to them a little bit early, which is great. I do my best to try to give them back, not at the 7-day mark, but it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. And then I can't tell you how many people there. I mean, there was a lot. I mean, there's not like hundreds, but there's at least like 10 or 12 people that even during this week were asking me to get something done the same day. Like they wanted to drop it off at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon and pick it up by 4. And I don't blame them. I just don't think they have an idea of the volume of orders that we're doing here, that people that actually turned their engraving requests in a week ago or 2 weeks ago, knowing that so they could get it done on time. But that's going to happen. Nothing wrong. I mean, you know, people always try for last minute stuff. Hey, and if they're willing to pay an expedited fee and you have a little bit of time and you want to charge an expedited fee for that kind of stuff and you feel like you can fit it in, go for it. If they want to pay the fee, that's fine. Just don't ever put yourself in a situation where you feel like you can't say no, but what you really end up doing is not delivering in the end on time, and to them ruining their Christmas gift because you couldn't get it to them in time. Like, don't put yourself in that situation. Okay, so let's do a flag or a wall banner, right? We got a flag here. Let's give that one away. Oh, is it upside down? Okay, yeah, we got the flag. We were like joking about this earlier. Okay, so this is a flag? Is this a flag? Yes, it's a flag. It's something for your wall, something for your shop. For this one, go ahead and type in, and please keep this PC, right? Or PG rated. Type in the weirdest thing that you've ever had to engrave. PG, please. And we'll actually make it a flag and a shirt. A flag and a shirt. There's got to be, can't be too many people in there right now. The odds are in your favor. The odds have gone down. Or your odds of winning have gone up.
Lori says she's done a watermelon and a coconut.
A watermelon and a coconut. Okay, I've done a coconut, but not a watermelon.
Cigarette pack.
Okay, an actual pack of cigarettes. That I've never done that before.
Buttstock of a retirement gun.
Okay, I've done one of those.
Many urns with the ashes inside.
Yes. Yes, I've done lots of urns as well, and there was one where the ashes were still inside. That was a little odd, for sure.
Some shot glasses.
Okay.
Yep. Neck plate on a guitar.
Oh.
That must have been tricky.
That's tricky. Yeah. I've done a few guitars. They you guys ought to watch Anthony's story on the laser engraving horror stories, the case of the cursed guitar. That's one of my favorites out of the laser engraving horror stories. All right. Run it. All right, this is for a shirt and the wall banner flag thing from OneLaser.
Going to Greg Palmer.
Greg Palmer. Score. It's all you, dude. Shoot us an email. Shoot me an email and let me know where to ship this swag off to. Put it in the swag pile over here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see here. We've got some more giveaways. So before we do that, we'll do these last two giveaways and then we'll wrap it up. I wanted to kind of give everybody a kind of a preview a little bit, since you're all here and you're hanging out with me, which I'm super grateful for. I'll give you a little preview of what's to come in January and February. I've got a video coming up where we're going to be doing some hat decoration, but not just leather patches. We're going to be showing you 5 really cool ways with lasers that you can decorate your hats and other kind of hats, right, Haley?
Yep.
Haley, we're gonna going to show you something cool. We're gonna try to use all of our tools here in the shop to teach you how to decorate some hats. I am staring off camera right now at the Com Marker UV laser, which we have not unboxed. If you guys want to do like, we're going to do a full video using that, maybe a few, because I am very excited. This will be my first UV laser, and I have actual need for it in my business. So I'm very excited that that's here. We're going to be doing a full review, but also some tutorials on using the UV laser. I'll be sharing my settings and getting into that. It's like a whole new type of laser for me. I'm really excited about it. So we're going to be doing the UV laser, some hat decorating, and then I think in a few months, I'm probably going to have to, if we move to a commercial space, I'll probably have to kind of record some of what that's like. But we've got those two are our two main videos. We've also got a video. Oh my God. We're also going to be diving into MakerFlow. So they sent us, I don't know if you've heard about MakerFlow, but they sell, a lot of people have, they're great with sublimation. That's how they got started, but they've really upped their inventory to start carrying more laser engraving blanks. So we are going to try to engrave as many of their blanks as possible and actually kind of show you how we engrave them and then talk about what our thoughts are on the quality of them. So we've got a few boxes of MakerFlow blanks that we're going to get into. And I think after that, last but not least, we are going to be doing a Temu 2.0 video where we're going to buy tons of blank laser engraving stuff from Temu. Again, that's different from the last one, and show you how we engrave them all. But this time we got a little bigger budget for that, and I think we're going to be giving a lot of those blanks, packets of those blanks away to everybody as well, so they can try it for themselves. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the first few months of 2025. I'm looking forward to that, and for the Christmas rush to be over. That's when we're able to really start cranking out some videos for everyone. Okay, so last two giveaways. I won't combine them. I'll give more opportunities. So this last one is one of those button-up shirts. Let's do this one. And let's see. Okay, how about this? What is your other, type in, what is your other favorite laser engraving YouTube channel that you like to watch, or who is it? I know that I'm all your favorite, but if you have anyone else, I'd love to hear who they are. I'm just kidding. I love all the different laser tubers. Most of them, I think they do great stuff, and I actually watch their videos too. One of my two favorites I have a lot actually, but one of the guys that I really enjoy watching is Sam Craft, and he kind of amazes me with like how he's able to put out so much content and like run full-time like 3D printing, laser engraving, embroidery. I'm just like, every time he releases a video, I'm like, what? How come there's no one else in the shop with him? I never see anybody else. Like, is he really doing this all by himself? Or does he just tell all of his employees to go home? So it looks like it's just him. I don't know, but I enjoy watching him. I like Justin's channel. Alex's channel is great. But Sam Craft amazes me for sure.
Laser Everything, LA Hobby Guy.
Yep.
Clack Shack.
Yep, all good channels for sure.
Bell Creations.
Yep.
All right, I'm clicking the button.
All right, and this is for the shirt, right? Go for it.
Shirt. Only like you.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you.
Going to Michael Clarkson.
Michael Clarkson, you got the shirt. You know what to do. Reach out to us. Give us your address. We'll send it. And then last but not least, the one that I didn't really want to give away, but I feel like we need to, is the shop apron. So we got the shop apron here. This will be the last one. And Haley, come on, you come up with something. Come on, come up with a question for them. Okay, I'll come up with something. Okay, so for the last one, just type in what is your Christmas what is your Christmas wish for this year?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a nice
And if you don't celebrate Christmas and you do Hanukkah, what's your Hanukkah wish? You know, whatever it is, what's your wish? Go ahead and type it in, and then we'll pick. We do both in my house, Hanukkah and Christmas.
Your only wish is 100,000 subscribers.
Yes, that was one of my Christmas wishes for sure.
Got a lot of peace in the world.
I heard that. We need that. Always. Got a few more there.
Start my Etsy store for next year.
Yes. There we go.
Yep. Finish the water bottles for my nieces in time.
Yes.
More sales.
More sales for 2025.
Yep. All right. Got a lot of health and happiness and peace on earth.
Yes.
Yada, yada, yada.
All excellent wishes.
Bah humbug.
Yeah, there you go. I knew there was going to be a bah humbug in there. I got a few family members. Got the bah humbug. I got it. All right.
All right.
Let's do it. Go for it.
Lori says a microphone for Haley.
A microphone for Haley. Okay. Yeah, we actually have 2 mics. Next time we'll do that.
He's going to Jason Bratlin.
Jason Bratlin, you got the workshop apron. It's all yours. Shoot me an email, give me your address, and that's it. And I don't know, I don't know. I'm starting to think that, maybe after we make some content with this laser over here, not sure if I'm going to have room for it in my shop. We might have to do another giveaway. I don't know. Don't hold me to that, but that's one of the things with this YouTube channel is that lasers can pile up quick, and some of them I like to keep for using content. Some of them I don't have room for. Some of them I've donated to a good cause. So you never know. You never know. But anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up here. It's towards the end of the day. I wanted to thank everyone who stopped in, whether you stayed, whether you popped in, for watching. I'm really excited about diving into this unit and getting some time on it, and then making some content and giving you all my thoughts on it. I am very grateful for everyone who participates in the channel. You guys are great. I love hanging out like this. I'm going to try to do it more in 2025. Let's see what else. I want to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday with your family, and take some time off for yourself. Do something fun, and turn off the lasers for a little bit. I'm telling you, I am ready to turn off the laser for sure for the next, yeah, I'm going to try to turn them off as long as I can. But as you know, it's you know, this is what I do to support my business. So, but I need a break, and I'm looking forward to spending it with my family, and I hope you all do too. Um, I've listed links to everything we talked about below. And with that, I think we're gonna call it a day for this live unboxing. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.